Meal planning, there's really no way to eat healthy or lose weight without planning. It really takes a lot of planning, unfortunately. Wish it was easier and you could just do it right away, but it does take a lot of planning. But you do get a lot of rewards when you do take time to plan. You often save money and time, keeps you organized, adds lots of variety into your routine, and it also improves your nutrition. So I'm just going to kind of touch on some ideas that you can use for meal planning if you're not somebody that does it frequently or you don't know where to get started. These are just some tips. I mean, there's lots of information out there. If you Google meal planning, you'll get a ton of information. It'll even give you plans free on the internet if you want to use that. But there's lots of information about meal planning. These are just some things that work for me. It might not work for you, but just some ideas that could help you along. Kind of look at your week, what your week looks like if it's a busier week, if there's certain days that are busier, and figure out what you can cook for those days. Because if you run into a late night or unexpected commitment, you're more likely to maybe grab food on the way home, choose things that aren't so healthy in the vending machine maybe. So we really want to plan for those obstacles and create healthier ways to get past those. Check what's on sale at the store. You can do that online if you are looking to budget a little bit more closely. Finding healthy recipes. Keep staples and add new ones to it. I like to create theme nights. That way I don't have to think about it as much. I know every Sunday I'm going to have homemade pizza. I know every Friday I'm probably going to have some type of Mexican. So I have these theme nights so I don't have to take as much time planning what those meals are going to be. And keep them simple. Don't get too crazy. Recipes that have 100 ingredients or crazy spices that you're never going to use again. I can't tell you how many spices I have in my cabinet that I've used once because I wanted to tackle a new recipe and they just sit there now. So keep things that are simple. Sign up for free websites. Never pay for recipes. I really emphasize that because there's so many free ones out there. One of my favorites is eatingwell.com. They have a ton of recipes, and they email me the recipes, which is nice. I don't have to go to them. So they email me every day with different recipes, and I kind of just pick out what I like and then save them somewhere. And that's another thing I emphasize is have a place to save your recipes, whether it be Pinterest or a recipe box, or you want to print them out and put them in a folder. Save those recipes and reference back to them. That'll help you with meal planning. And write it down. If you write it down, you're more likely to stick to it. I use a chalkboard at home. There's a big chalkboard like this one in my kitchen, and the meal plan for the week is up there. That way my husband knows, everybody knows what the meal is going to be, and it kind of holds you more accountable because if Wednesday says you're going to have veggie chili, I got to make that veggie chili or he's going to be asking me, why aren't we having veggie chili? So keeps you a little bit more on track with what you're making. You can use a notebook. Again, you can type it up and print it out. And you can do it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I generally just do it for dinner because that one's a little bit more complicated. Breakfast's typically the same thing or most days. So whatever works for you, though. Just some other templates. And you can go online. Again, like I said, if you go to meal planning, Google meal planning, or templates, you can get all these kind of fancy templates if you want it to look pretty. But it's up to you. So making a shopping list and sticking to the list, that's really important. Don't go off to other aisles or get stuck at that end checkout and add things to your shopping cart. Shopping the perimeter of the store, that's where your freshest foods are. I'm sure you'll have to go into the aisles a little bit to maybe get some cooking things, but most of those things in the aisles are shelf stable because they have lots of preservatives added to them. So we want to keep the perimeter where everything's fresher. And avoiding those impulse buys. Do some meal prep ahead of time if you need to wash or chop vegetables. Make your lunch the night before so you're not going out for lunch. Or again, you're not using that vending machine. Make your lunch the night before. Plan for this. And I highly recommend using a slow cooker for meals. Again, if there's a night you know you're working late, instead of takeout, instead of grabbing something to go, use a slow cooker. There's lots of ways around picking up food or constantly eating out. Keeping your pantry stocked. These are just some staples that you might want to keep for last-minute meals. Beans, canned tomatoes, frozen veggies, pastas, oils and vinegars, because you're cooking most things with those, probably spices and canned fish are all quick things you can whip up. Again, if you haven't planned for something and you need to make a quick meal.